Only believe half of what you saw and none of what you heard. Perception can change everything. Since the supposed death of Ghost, we have been given multiple clues throughout Power Book 2 showing us that Ghost could actually be alive. In my previous Ghost Town video that I did a year ago, I broke down how exactly Ghost pulled off faking his death. In today's video I will be bringing multiple things to light that the majority of the Power audience did not catch in the final season of the original Power series. In part 1, I will focus on the crucial moments in the final 5 episodes of Season 6 where I believe will debunk everything that a lot of people believe about the night Ghost was supposedly killed by Tariq. As the popular saying goes, only believe half of what you saw and none of what you heard. I believe that this perfectly describes the final 5 episodes in Season 6 of Power. Now we have heard many theories and have seen multiple clues in the past that point to Ghost actually surviving the gunshot to the chest in the final scene of episode 14. But even with all of the evidence and clues being put right in our faces, there is still a large part of the Power audience that believes Ghost actually died that night, along with his story. Now I am not here to try and convince anyone, but I am here to point out one undeniable factor about the final 5 episodes that will completely give some of you a different outlook on Ghost's final moments on screen. The final 5 episodes were all different characters' perspective episodes. Episode 10 was Ghost's perspective. Episode 11 was Dre's perspective. Episode 12 was Paz's perspective. Episode 13 was Tommy's perspective, and the final episode was from Tariq and Tasha's perspective. What this all means is that each of these final episodes only showed how each of these characters saw things through their eyes and their own point of view, including their interactions with Ghost. Here are a few scenes that will show exactly what I am talking about.
Oh my God. You're Rashad Tate.
Yeah, hi. Can I also have a gluten?
Hey, Brenda! Look who's here!
Oh, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I've been telling everybody that you are going to be the best governor that we ever had.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, as you just saw in the scene with Councilman Tate, everything about this seemed very over-exaggerated. Of course, Tate was well known throughout New York City, but he was nowhere near as famous and likable to the public as this scene painted him out to be. Another major thing about these 5 episodes that stand out like a sore thumb is the way the Ghost responded and interacted with various characters. One thing about Ghost, he always kept it real and told it like it was, and was always quick to tell someone about themselves. But in the final 5 episodes, Ghost seemed very out of character.
Of course I love my son.
And why don't you love him the way I do? Why the fuck won't you do whatever it takes to protect him? I would do anything for that boy.
That's his problem! We do everything for him, and we did everything for him. You know what? Maybe your son should do something for himself. You tell my son to meet me at my hotel. I want to talk to him man to man. It has not worked. So let's find another way.
I hope you get everything you deserve, Ghost.
You know me. I always do.
I never want to see you again.
Tasha, just make sure to have my son at my hotel, okay? Me and him need to have a man-to-man.
As you just saw in the scene with Tasha and Ghost, which is in episode 15, this response from Ghost seemed completely different than he would normally act with Tasha. Now yes, we have seen Ghost and Tasha have many arguments in the past quite similar to this one, but Ghost never really overreacted to the magnitude in the way that he did in this scene. And as you clearly just saw, both scenes showed different dialogues and mannerisms. Not to mention the ending to both of these scenes differs as well. In Tasha's perspective scene, it shows Ghost enraged and highly aggressive. But in Ghost's perspective episode, it shows Ghost a lot calmer, and Tasha with a completely different demeanor.
Your mother's right.
And you said if I was to get caught, you would take the rap for me.
I did say that, but circumstances have changed, son.
You're such a fucking liar. I knew you wouldn't stand up for me.
Look, it's time for you to stand up for yourself, okay? Tariq, I want you to just admit what you've done. Just come forward and admit what happened, and then puts me in a better situation to take care of you, okay?
You said if I was to get caught, you would take the weight.
I did say that, but you shouldn't have gotten caught.
What?
I said you shouldn't have gotten caught. Hell, you shouldn't have been there in the first place. If you let me and your Uncle Tommy handle that shit like you should have, we wouldn't be in this mess.
So that's...
Now the difference between these two scenes is even more obvious. In Tariq's perspective scene, he walks in and Ghost is drinking and heavily intoxicated, but in Ghost's perspective scene, he's not drinking at all. I could go into countless more scenes from the final 5 episodes like the ones that I just highlighted that shows how certain moments are different from other perspectives. What this all means is that there is a strong chance that we really didn't see the true events happening leading up to the final scene with Ghost getting shot by Tariq. Now when it comes to the theory of Ghost switching out the gun that Tariq stashed at Club Truth, I originally thought that Ghost switched the gun after his conversation with Ramona. But after going back and watching these final 5 episodes, I noticed something that I didn't before. As you just saw, as Tariq went to Club Truth to meet up with Ghost about confessing to Riri's murder, we see Tariq taking the gun out of the safe and place it in his backpack. What this means is that Ghost clearly switched the guns out well before his conversation that he had with Ramona. And this also clearly shows this is not the same gun that Tariq originally stashed. As big as that hallway is, you don't think that Ghost didn't hear Tariq opening the safe a few feet away from his office where he was talking with Dre? I certainly think that Ghost was well aware of what Tariq was doing. And even if he didn't hear Tariq stashing the gun, I am 100% sure that Ghost checked the security footage directly after Dre and Tariq left Club Truth. Ghost most definitely knew something was up the minute Tariq showed up with Dre in his office. One major thing that I came across while watching these final episodes is that in episode 10, which was Ghost's perspective episode, we were not shown Tariq shooting Ghost. But in episode 14, in Tariq's perspective, we actually saw the shooting. With all of that being said, I think that all of the final episodes were shot the way they were for a very specific reason. If there wasn't any more to Tariq shooting Ghost, then I believe we would have only gotten one final episode and not a bunch of different perspective episodes showing different dialogues. I will continue to stand on the belief that Power actually shot one final episode to season 6 that we were never shown, showing the true perspective and events that happened the night Tariq shot Ghost, as well as the real amount of damage that Ghost received from the bullet wound. As I pointed out in the past, in Tommy's perspective episode there was never a puddle of blood next to Ghost after Tariq shot him. But in episode 14 there was. So this is why I believe that Ghost may have not really took as much damage as they lead us to believe. Ghost falling over the railing was very theatrical and dramatized in my opinion. The fall really wasn't that far, and we have seen Ghost take damage a lot worse than falling over the railing. Not to mention, as I have said before, I believe that Ghost either may have had on a bulletproof vest under his suit, or he may have switched the bullets out with blank bullets that don't cause any life-threatening damage, which are normally used in movies. And I also think that in the final episode that was never shown to us, will show all of the arrangements that Ghost made leading up to the moment Tariq shot him. I believe that Ghost always knew that he would never be able to fully get out of the street life no matter how hard he tried. And he knew the only way for him to start a clean slate in life would be for him to fake his death. Ghost never really had intentions to be lieutenant governor. I believe that he knew he needed the power and connections within the political world if he wanted to be successful with faking his death and stepping away from the game for good, along with helping Tariq get into college. After Ghost finally realized that no matter how hard he tried to get Tariq on the right path, Tariq was never gonna follow that path. This is why Ghost set everything up with Simon Stern to use his connections to get Tariq into Stansfield, along with setting up Tariq's inheritance in the way that he did. Now, of course, actor Omari Hardwick has said in the past that he wanted more money in order to return to power. But who's to say that this was really the case? I believe that the core of Ghost's story in Power always had a beginning, middle, and end. And I believe that within that story, there was always a plan to have Tariq turn on Ghost and shift the focus more on Tariq's rise. As we can clearly see, Ghost has been and is continuing to affect everything within Tariq's life even though he hasn't been around. In part 2 of my Ghost Town series in the next video, I will be covering the 2 characters that may have been helping Ghost all along that I have never mentioned before. There were a number of moments from these characters that I believe are very questionable, and I will highlight what could be one of the most epic diversions that we never saw coming. Stay tuned for part 2. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for all things within the Power universe. See you all next time in the universe of Power.